And so, but it was making me feel like my home was less than, you know what I mean? And I don't like that. I don't like that. Hey y'all, happy new year. I hope you had a wonderful holiday season. I can't believe it's 2024. That's wild, is it not? It's crazy how fast last year went. I really don't even know what I'm going to title this video. I just know that I had been praying about it, and it's just something that I want to share. It's just been on my spirit for a while. And leave a comment down below and let me know if you want more of these videos where I'm just kind of like telling you my thoughts, almost like this. I feel like it's like I'm writing in my diary or something, but it's just a video. I feel like we're all really close friends. We're all like in this inner friend circle, and we can just chat about these kinds of things. I feel like my community is very much so a safe place, and I would love to hear your thoughts about this in the comments. All right, so where do I begin? I noticed that towards the end of 2023, I started feeling like kind of off, not myself, like just not motivated. I wasn't filming like I should have been, because I just feel like it's really hard for me. Like I can't fake the funk on here with y'all. Like if I'm just not in the mood, or if I feel like I'm just feeling kind of blah, it's hard for me to turn the camera on and talk. You know, I just feel like I need to be in a positive headspace to do that. I'm just not a negative person. And so it's like I would never want to share negativity on the internet. Like I just feel like that's crazy. Anyway, and I just was wondering, like, why am I not feeling like myself? I was praying about it, like I was just feeling off, and I finally realized what it was. And what it was that my mindset was being affected by the things that I was looking at on Instagram, and Instagram in particular. Now don't get me wrong, y'all, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world that's so like heavy and negative and hard, and I pray for people all the time, and you can't avoid it. You know, even if you try hard to, you can't avoid it. And I understand that. So I'm not even like talking about that in particular. I understand there are places and there's parts of this world where people are really, really, really struggling. And that's hard too, and that gets draining too. But this is not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is how I felt myself kind of comparing myself. And I'm not even that type of girl. Like I felt myself comparing myself and then feeling like I'm less than compared to the people that I would see on Instagram. Okay, now let me give you a little bit of backstory here. So I would say during the pandemic is when I started following people like this, because we were stuck at home, and like, you know, what else we were gonna do? My kids were homeschooled for a whole 2 years. Like this is when I started following creators like this, because in the past I didn't really follow creators like this. And this is where short form content really started gaining popularity, when Instagram created Reels. Of course, TikTok started blowing up. YouTube created Shorts later on, but you know, it's real short form content really started blowing up. And I'm saying this from a content creator point of view. Like that's what I do for a living. I'm a content creator. When people ask me, oh, what do you do for a living? Which I hate when they ask me, by the way. I don't know why I hate it, but I do. I say that I'm an online content creator. But anyway, before I was an online content creator, I did work in corporate America for like 15 years. So I get it, you know. But basically I started following like DIY Instagram pages. Like I'm talking, these women are talented, and I'm not hating at all. Like, don't get me wrong. These women are very, very talented. I mean, like they could probably build a whole house if they had if they got the sponsorship and they got all the stuff that they needed. They would probably could build a whole house. That's how talented they are. But it had me feeling like, and not just the DIYers, sometimes the interior designers, like I don't know, like everybody that I saw, their house was perfectly decorated. These projects that they're doing, they don't even look DIY. Like one of the DIY creators that I follow, and this isn't a woman, this is a man, he literally added a full-on sunroom to his house, and he called it DIY. Added a full sunroom to his house. Beautiful, by the way, beautiful work. And I don't know, I started feeling like, wow, what is wrong with me? I feel like I can't even build a stool, like a step stool, yet alone building out these closets, finishing basements, finishing rooms, redoing bathrooms. Like it's like crazy. And I felt like it was inspiring at first. That's why I started following all these accounts, because I was inspired. But let me back up a little bit. It reminded me of the time like before I started filming on my channel consistently. I would say this would be back in 2013. Okay, when I started following women on YouTube that shared cleaning routines and speed cleaning, and I started following women like that, like what's in my bag, day in the life kind of vlog. And a lot of them, you know, I consider them OGs. I mean, they've been on YouTube for a really long time, and there's no disrespect to these women. I think they're so talented. So many of them that still post. A lot of them don't even post anymore. But I felt like that was inspiring to me, but I felt like it wasn't realistic in my situation, because I was I worked full-time outside of the home. My kids were young. It was before Ava was even born. Zara was a baby. I had an hour commute each way into work. I worked 40 plus hours a week. Like, it was just not realistic for me to be able to have a morning cleaning routine, an afternoon cleaning routine, and an evening cleaning routine. It just wasn't realistic in my eyes. And so I had been praying about, and God had put it on my heart to just start my channel. And that's when I started. That's really where Marriage and Motherhood started, because there was no one online that was a working mom with small kids that showed what their life was like. And I figured, you know, if I want to see someone who not only looks like me, but like has the same kind of reality as me, where the kids are young, my house is a mess, we eat out quite a bit because I work so much outside of the home, and that's really where the birth of my channel started. And so I say all that to say, because I feel like that's where Instagram was at the time. Like, it was just like an inspiring place, like where people were posting stuff that they were doing in DIY, and it would be an inspiration to people. And I feel like that's what it is to a lot of people. But for me, it started turning into just an unhealthy mindset. And so anyway, I say all that to say, like, that's where Marriage and Motherhood started, because I was seeing all these women that was inspiring me, but I couldn't apply it to my life because my circumstances were different. So I created my channel for people who maybe their circumstances were similar to mine, and it really resonated with a lot of you. That's how we together built this community. At first with Instagram, that's how I was looking at it. I was like, oh man, if she can remodel her whole bathroom, that means I can do it too. But then it started feeling like, first of all, more and more of these channels started popping up, and I felt like, you know, because it's just a reel, I mean, you are only literally getting, a minute of maybe months worth of work. So you're not getting the realistic view of it, obviously. And the biggest thing for me is they don't have cost transparency. Like, they don't say, well, how much this would cost. I mean, I know a lot of the projects are sponsored, but even if it wasn't sponsored, how much would it cost, as, you know, being transparent with people so that they know if they can do it themselves or not. Like, I'm too scared to like mess something up big time to try to remodel a bathroom, but they make me feel like, you can do it. Most of them have an intro that goes something like this. Hi, my name is Katie, and I started picking up power tools 3 years ago, and I'm completely self-taught, and if I can do it, you can do it too. And they show all these projects that they finished. Like, I'm talking like, y'all, it looks super professional. Now, don't get me wrong. I know most of them do it themselves. I really do think that these women are talented and they do it themselves, but it's kind of not realistic that the way that they portray it, because they show it in a 1 minute reel. Okay, you don't get any kind of detailed breakdown on how much it would cost if it wasn't sponsored. And then, you know, you just see the finished product. So it was making me feel like, oh man, you know, I see all these beautifully decorated homes. Like, my home isn't good enough, or my bathroom looks like crap compared to this. I need to do it. Like, I felt like I just wasn't doing enough. And I don't even make DIY content. Like, I'm not a DIY content creator. You know what I mean? And so, but it was making me feel like my home was less than. You know what I mean? And I don't like that. I don't like that. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't want to like just completely stop following these people, because I guess it depends on what kind of mood I'm in. Because I do find some of it to be inspiring. Some of it is just completely unrealistic, in my opinion. And some of them, like, once they were done renovating their home, because I had been following, now it's been years at this point, because I started following people in the DIY space like back in 2020 during the pandemic. Fast forward, now it's 2024. A lot of them have remodeled their whole home, and then they'll buy another house to do it all over again. And I'm just like, huh? Is that like am I old? I just don't see myself like moving to remodel a house all over again, or putting in all that time and money in remodeling a home when you know it's not your forever home, or you're gonna be moving in 2 or 3 years. Like, I don't know. I maybe I'm just old school like that. Like, I can't imagine investing that much time and money into remodeling a whole home only to decide that you're moving in a year and a half. Like, maybe that was the plan from the get-go. Maybe they wanted to flip the house. I flip the houses, because it wasn't just 1 or 2 creators. It was like several creators that just moved, especially during the real estate bubble, when the market was really hot. Not this past summer, but the summer before last, the summer of 2022. People just moved during that because, of course, there was so much, you would get so much money for your home at that time. But anyway, I say all that to say, like, I did not like the way it was making me feel. It stopped inspiring me and started, like, affecting my mindset. Like, oh my gosh, like, I felt like, oh, you can't do this. Your house will never look like this. You shouldn't have people over because it's not this interior designers. It's not this nice. It doesn't look like a magazine, because that's literally all they show, is it looking like a magazine. From the DIYers and the interior designers, like, it just looks like a magazine. I don't like that. And so me being a content creator, it's like, I'm not just gonna delete all my social media apps. I can't do that. I do this for a living. But I am gonna be mindful of who I watch. Now, I've said this for years, and I really, really wish someone from Instagram, someone from TikTok, YouTube, anybody would implement this in the social media apps. I feel like I wish there was a way for me to organize who I'm subscribed to, so that if I'm getting on Instagram and I only want to see, because I follow all different types of people. It's not just one type of creator that I follow. I don't just follow DIYers. I follow a lot of women who do planning, and I like to look at the planning reels. I like to look at DIY. I like to look at cooking. I like to look at health a lot. I follow a lot of doctors. Like, it just depends on what kind of mood I'm in, who I want to see. Because at this point, I feel like we don't have any control in who we want to watch. Even if we're subscribed to someone, you're not guaranteed to see their content at all on your feed. You kind of have to, like, look for them and search them out to see their page, to see their content, which is really frustrating. But I wish we can organize it so that when I open Instagram, it asks me, what type of content do you want to watch today? And I have the buckets filled out myself. Like, okay, all of these people go into the DIY. All of these people go into interior designers. All these people go into cooking. All these people go into planners and, lifestyle, health. And then depending on my mindset, I want to say, oh, I want to listen to all the doctors today. And then all the doctors and their stuff comes up in similar content. I wish. Because if you're following somebody that doesn't make you feel good, you just need to unfollow it. And that's the same with me. But I'm, like, torn about it, because it's like, sometimes they don't make me feel good, but sometimes it is inspiring, and it makes me want to say, oh, I can do that to my closet too, or I want to do that to my closet too, and maybe you can hire someone to do it to this exact thing to my closet too. So it's some of it's helpful, but some of it's not. And I just wish that maybe creators can be a little bit more transparent. And I know it's hard. I'm as transparent as I can be with my channel, because of course you're not gonna share every little thing, but I do try to share my highs and my lows. I try to share what I'm good at and what I'm not good at as a creator. And I try to be as transparent when it comes to projects. Like, when I hired the professional organizer to come in and help me, I was very transparent about, like, how much that costs, how I found her, like, what the process was like. And I wish some creators shared more of that kind of stuff. Like, I want to know, well, how much does wood cost in your area? Or how much are an average of the contractors cost in your area? Or how much time did it actually take you to do this project? Like, how did you space it out? Like, how do you plan it out? I don't know. I guess that's just me and how I operate, but it would be nice if others operated that way too. But at the same time, I just don't, for 2024, girl, we're positivity. Okay. We're feeling good. I don't want to engage in anything that does not make me feel good about myself, because like I said, or my home, because like I said, some of these people that I was following, their stuff would look so immaculate. Like, and even though my girls are older now and the house is a lot tidier than it was when they were toddlers, it still makes me feel like, gosh, my furniture isn't as nice, or, like, I need to paint, or I don't know. Leave a comment down below and let me know if you understand what I'm saying. At the end of the day, I want us all to feel good about ourselves. If there's anything that's on your feed that doesn't make you feel good, I encourage you to like take it off. Like it's the same with like, and I don't have this issue because I don't follow a lot of accounts like this, but as far as when it comes to like working out or your body, comparing your body to others or the way you look to others, like it's just not healthy. And for me, I guess this whole time I always thought, well, it's not like I'm comparing my physical self, it's like my home, but it's just as damaging, you know, to yourself. You make you feel shameful or make you feel ashamed. I don't want to be ashamed of my home. I'm not ashamed of my home. You know, I don't want any kind of content to make me feel that way. And I consider myself a pretty confident person. Like I'm not, you know, I feel like you have to have a certain level of confidence to come online, I mean, and create content. And I don't feel like I'm less than, but sometimes like, and it took me a while to figure out like what was wrong. Like, why am I feeling this way? And it took me a while to understand that, okay, certain accounts kind of trigger me for this feeling. And this was all new to me. Like I had never experienced that before. Like I'm 41. Social media wasn't a thing when I was younger. So thank God kind of sometimes. I mean, I love social media, don't get me wrong, but it's like, that's why I really shelter my girls from it. Like they want to have TikTok so bad and they want to have regular YouTube and not YouTube Kids so bad. But I'm like, no, because I just don't feel like their minds are ready for that. Like I don't want to constantly feel influenced to do something. And that's what I feel like social media does a lot of times. It makes you feel influenced to have to do something. And if you don't do it, then you're wrong. You know what I mean? And I don't want my kids to feel influenced to have to buy a certain thing or look a certain way or feel a certain way. You know what I mean? I think that's what it was. Like I was getting tired of constantly feeling influenced. And that's wild, right? Or not just influenced, like sold to, like I'm selling you this and I'm, you know, yeah, it's just, it's crazy. I feel like social media has really changed since the pandemic. It's kind of got kind of like slimy, like a used car salesman kind of slimy. And don't get me wrong, if you're a used car salesman, not everybody is slimy that way, but like always kind of trying to sell you something that you don't need, you know? And I'm speaking, like I said, I'm speaking from a perspective that I'm an online content creator. I get it. I understand sponsorships. I understand, you know, views, and this is how I support my family and everything. But at the end of the day, I'm always, always, always going to be authentic to my feelings and what I think about something. I'm not going to, like, I can't be paid to, and I think that just comes with maturity. A lot of content creators, most content creators are younger. They're younger creators who maybe don't have that life experience to stand on and say, you know what, I can't be bought. I'm not gonna buy a popularity online. I'm not gonna do just what's popular just to get the views. I'm gonna do what, you know, fits for me as a content creator and my family, you know what I mean? Anyway, I feel like we talked a lot today, and let me know if you like this type of content, because I do plan on filming more of stuff like this. But I really wanna know your thoughts on how do you guys feel. I want to know from you if you are a content creator yourself or if you're someone who just consumes content. You know, I do both. I consume a lot of content and I create content too. Are you a creator or you're a consumer or neither? I would love to know what your thoughts are on that, how you feel about Instagram. And it's really Instagram in particular. I don't see it as much on YouTube, and YouTube is more, there's such a variety of YouTubers now, and there's so many people that have so many different channels that it's like, I don't know, when I do follow a couple of DIY creators on YouTube, and I don't feel the same sense of, oh my gosh, my life is perfect, this project is perfect, like I do on Instagram. It's just different. Something particularly about Instagram and how it's ran on there that, I don't know, it just doesn't sit well with me. Well, do you even use Instagram? Leave a comment down below and let me know. TikTok, it's the same. Like, it's not that same kind of like comparison feeling that you feel when you're watching Instagram. I feel like with Reels and stuff, everything's got to be just perfect. Whereas YouTube and TikTok are more authentic, in my opinion. You can learn so much on TikTok. I'm a huge advocate of TikTok University. It doesn't matter your age. I know a lot of people think TikTok is just for kids. No, there's a lot of amazing creators on TikTok. Amazing. From herbalists to just women who make content on it. Like, there's just so many people that I follow on TikTok. I'm actually thinking about starting up my TikTok page too and just doing different kind of reviews and stuff like that. You know, I just want to, like I said, be as authentic as I can be. So anyway, I've talked quite a bit on this video. Leave a comment down below and let me know though what you think about this topic and what are your thoughts on it. So we'll chat in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.